Hey, nigger, go back to Africa. Now, before I tell you a little bit more about what happened to me on that day, I feel it's important that I take a moment and talk about that word. Because I think oftentimes people think it's funny, they think it's a big joke, but you don't feel that way when you're on the other end of it. It's a very controversial word. You know, who can use it, who can't use it. But here's the truth. Any fool can use it. But my question to you is, why would you want to? Of how people may use this word. Example number one, I'm in Alabama, lost in the woods. Or let's say I'm in Kentucky or Tennessee. Let's say for the sake of argument, it doesn't even matter where I'm at. Let's just say I'm someplace and I'm lost in the woods. It's pitch dark outside, I can't see anything. All of a sudden, a man that I cannot see jumps out from behind a tree and says, "There's a nigger, get him." I'm not going to run up and give that dude a hug. My assumption is he wants to put a rope around my neck and hang me from a tree. Now let's look at example number two. I love Alabama. I'm back in Alabama, lost in the woods. All of a sudden, a man that I cannot see jumps out from behind a tree and says, "Hey, what's up, my nigga? I'm glad to see you. I'm lost." I don't like the word, don't use the word, but in example number two, I might run into that dude's arms and say, "Hello, I'm glad to see you, my nigga." Context. There's a big difference. Now, I want you guys to imagine how excited I was when that police car pulled up. I don't know if I've ever been excited to see the police, but I was that day. They pulled up to the curb. I got up. I thought the cavalry is here. I picked up my little dinner that I had bought, and I started walking to the curb. The police officer, the driver, got out of the car, sees me, turns to a 45-degree angle, puts his hand on his hip, points at me and says, "Stop right there, drop that bag and get your hands in the air." At first I was a little confused, thinking, well, you must be confused. I'm thinking that. But just as quick, I thought, you know what? I just dropped the bag and I put my hands in the air just like he asked me to do. The driver, the police officer that was driving the car came behind me, grabs both of my wrists with one hand and twists a little bit, so I guess I couldn't break away from him. Second police officer comes within arm's distance of me. Police officer behind me asked me the question, "Do you have identification?" So my ID's in my pocket. He said, "Is there anything in your pocket that's going to stick me or cut me?" I said, "No." He reached in, he grabbed my ID, and he handed it to the second officer. That officer removed my ID, looked at it, and he says, he got on his radio, he says, "Ian James Humphrey," that's my name. And he beat my birthday, he says, 7/31. Y'all don't need to know when I was born. But he gives him my birthday. After a couple moments, silence, someone comes back onto the radio and says, "All clear." I'm guessing that that meant I had no warrants. I hadn't escaped out of prison. I wasn't wanted by the police. At that point, the police officer comes from behind me, stands in front of me, I get my ID back, and he says, How can we help you? Upset, I just looked at him and I said, I'll take my chances walking home. That's exactly what I said. Picked up my dinner and I started walking home. I was upset, but mostly I was hurt. I felt that I was in a situation, one, where my life was in danger, and I didn't receive any help. I can remember thinking to myself, I survived the roughest area of South Central or of LA, and I come out to Colorado and I'm about to get killed. I can remember thinking, Colorado is racist, this is a racist state, I got to get the heck up out of here. I felt that the man behind, the blue-eyed man, I felt he could have done more to help me. I felt that the police, on their car, it says to protect and to serve. I did not feel like I was protected, and I didn't receive any service. But the other thing, once I got home and I began to calm down, I began to kind of think. I began to have a conversation with the people that were closest to me in my life. And I began to understand some things. One, 4 men in a truck doesn't speak for everyone in Colorado. Yes, I felt they were racist. Yes, I felt that they were there to do something or to do me harm, but their actions didn't speak for everyone in Colorado. The blue-eyed man who opened the door, could he have let me in the house for refuge, safety? He could have. But I don't blame him. He did exactly what I asked, which was to call the police. The 2 police officers that pulled up to the curb that I felt that treated me like a suspect instead of a victim, I can be upset with them. But I can't be upset with or label each and every police officer based on the actions of those 2.
Harder because you know you're a black girl.
All right. Just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Lou. I like to play sports, and I'm a junior.
Hey, Lou. Are you what are you? Are you Mexican? Are you Italian? Are you? You're probably Mexican, and do your parents probably have 18 kids probably?
Are you legal?
Okay.
Do you like Taco Bell?
Okay, and then the last one. Just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is John. I'm a pretty good basketball player. I like Regis.
Hey, Sean. Is that your real name? No. I thought Asian people didn't play basketball.
Are you good at math?